Hey, I'm back. I'm going to do part 2 of multiplying fractions in this video. So last video I showed you how we folded paper to find a multiplication of 2 unit fractions. So today, as promised, I'm going to do a multiplication of 2 proper fractions that are not unit fractions. So I've decided that I'm going to do 3 quarters times 2 thirds. Now thirds are really tricky to fold, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad. And when you're doing this with students, it's really great to get them to practice folding paper into things like thirds, fifths, sevenths. If anything, it's hilarious to watch them try. So give it a go, but get them to practice doing it. Get them to practice folding paper, because folding paper with fractions is actually really great for their conceptual understanding. It actually embeds a lot of the understanding of fractions, and it does it much better than just giving them representational models to work with. So we're going to try this. Now remember, in the previous video I said it's all about the language, so I'm going to change the language of this. So rather than say 3 quarters times 2 thirds, I'm going to say we want to find 3 quarters of 2 thirds. Now I don't know about you, but that always makes it a lot easier for me to be able to visualize what's actually happening when I am working with these 2 fractions. So I'm going to take my fraction, so let's put this aside. So this is what you want to look at. Remember, 3 quarters of 2 thirds. So the first thing I've got to do is I've got to find my 2 thirds. Now this is where things get interesting, trying to fold into thirds. Now obviously with the folding it's not going to be 100% accurate all the time, but if they try to wrap it around as accurately as possible, they should get. Now you can see that I haven't quite done it as accurately as I should, but even if it's not 100%, it's about the partitioning of the whole that you really want to look at. I mean, obviously you do want to stress accuracy, but if I open this up, you can see that it is in thirds, but I don't want 3 thirds, I want 2 thirds. So I'm going to do this. So let's work with this here. So the light is really, let me see if I can adjust the light here. Yeah, it's a little bit better. All right, so now that you've got your 2 thirds, so this is, remember, 2 thirds of my whole, I want to find 3 quarters of this. So I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to fold it in half again to get my quarters. Now I want 3 quarters of this. Okay, so here we've got our 4 quarters of our 2 thirds. I want 3 quarters, so I'm going to fold that bottom part. Now here I've got these 6 little pieces that are going to make up my 3 quarters of my 2 thirds. So I'm going to mark in each of my areas. And as always, you can see I've done this before, this little mark here. We're going to open it up and see how it compares to our whole. I'm going to draw my lines just so it's easier for you guys to see. So this is what I end up with. Now my whole is partitioned into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces, or 12 parts, and I've got 6 parts shaded. So if I was to take 3 quarters of 2 thirds, or 3 quarters times 2 thirds, what my final product will be is 6 twelfths. Or that's what we're told. Let's see how it compares to our algorithm when we're working with just the straight multiplication. Here we've got we're taught that we multiply our numerators and our denominators together. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 3 is 12. So we get 6 twelfths. Now 6 twelfths is 1/2. So students are not going to actually see this as traditionally a half of that whole, because traditionally when students look at a half, they look at folding a straight bit of paper in half. But you can see that my half is actually 6 parts out of my whole. So even though I haven't folded or I haven't marked my half in the traditional sense, I still have 6 parts that are shaded and 6 parts that are unshaded. So it is 1/2. So what is 3/4 times 2/3? It is 1/2. There you go. Another way of multiplying fractions using folding bits of paper and the algorithm method, but with proper fractions this time, not unit fractions. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you next time for division of fractions. And that's going to be a whole lot more fun. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye.